Did you know the average American packs up and moves 12 times in their lifetime? For Germans, it's about 5. That means by the time an American retires, they've moved more than twice as often as a German, and for completely different reasons. So why is moving almost expected in the US, while in Germany it can feel unusual, even suspicious? Let's dig into it. In the US, moving isn't just common, it's almost a way of life. Every year, nearly 30 million Americans change addresses. That's about 9% of the entire population. By comparison, only 4 or 5% of Germans move each year. Why so different? Part of it comes down to housing in the US. Homeowners usually stay in a house for 8 to 13 years. Renters often move within 2 or 3. And buying or selling a home can happen in weeks. In Germany, on the other hand, the process is slower, more complicated, and designed for long-term stability. Here's the crazy part. In the US, it's normal to buy a starter home, then sell it a few years later for something bigger. While in Germany, most people skip that step completely. A big piece of that puzzle is renting. About 65% of Americans own their own home, compared to just 50% in Germany. But renting works completely differently. In the US, leases are often just a year. Breaking them might cost a fee, but it's not life-changing. In Germany, rental contracts are often indefinite. Landlords need a strong legal reason to end them, and rent increases are capped. The deposit, or Kaution, as we call it in Germany, can be 3 months of rent, a signal that you're expected to stay long-term. So while renting in America feels temporary, renting in Germany is meant to feel permanent. Now let's talk about jobs. One of the biggest reasons Americans move. Roughly 1 in 5 moves every year is job related. That could mean a new position, a transfer, or just wanting to shorten the commute. Big US companies recruit nationally and often cover moving expenses. And then there are the military families. Over 1 million active duty service members, many of whom move every 2 to 4 years. These moves don't just affect families, they shape entire communities around military bases. In Germany, things look different. Instead of relocating, people will often commute an hour or more by train rather than uproot their household. That's possible because Germany's public transportation system is pretty dense and somewhat reliable. But it's not just jobs. Geography plays a big role. In America, cities sprawl outwards with endless suburbs. New neighborhoods, schools, and shopping centers appear every year. That creates constant opportunities for families to move for bigger homes, better schools, or a different lifestyle. It's also why retirees often head south to Florida, Texas, or Arizona. In Germany, towns are compact. Development happens, but on a smaller scale. So when Germans move, it's usually within the same metro area, not hundreds of kilometers away. And then there are lifestyle moves. In the US, people relocate for climate, more land, for proximity to universities, or even just for a change of scenery. Surveys show Americans are far more likely than Europeans to believe moving improves quality of life. In Germany, ties to family and region run deep. Moving away can mean living behind generations of roots, and many choose not to. That's why Germany's annual mobility rate is only about half that of the US. With secure rental contracts, regional identity, and efficient transit, staying put simply makes more sense for Germans. In some towns, you'll find multiple generations living on the same street, even in the same house. And there's a word for this, Heimat. It means home, but also belonging, and it explains why many Germans feel no need to move even if opportunity knocks. So 2 countries, 2 very different definitions of home. For Americans, moving is part of the progress. For Germans, staying put is part of community life. Neither one is better, but both reveal a lot about culture, housing, and opportunity. So what about you? How many times have you moved, and was it it for opportunity, necessity, or just a fresh start? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed these cultural deep dives, hit the subscribe button, like it, share it with someone you know. I'm Mischa. I'll see you in the next one. Tschüss.